What up, Hyperchange? Welcome to another episode of TLDR, your weekly recap for good news in the tech and finance space. Our headline story this week is Coinbase is launching a new feature called Coinbase Commerce. Shout out to the Hyperchanger Able Charting for leaving me a comment about this and giving me a heads up. This has not gotten as much press as I think it should. This is a huge deal. It basically means that Coinbase, which is one of the largest cryptocurrency wallets out there and where I personally store my Bitcoin and Ethereum, love Coinbase, will be adding a feature at checkout to a bunch of different merchants called Coinbase Commerce that looks sort of like the PayPal button, which will allow you to pay in cryptocurrency. Now, this is a huge legitimizer of crypto assets. This is going to open up a ton of doors for different websites to start to accept crypto assets who normally wouldn't have been able to themselves. And with the recent rise of Bitcoin and Ethereum, there is so much money locked up in this crypto asset ecosystem that is waiting to be spent. And now this new Coinbase Commerce feature is going to unlock that. I think this is an amazing evolution of Coinbase's business model. And every time Coinbase does something like this, launches a new service, it's really important to pay attention because they are a mover and shaker in this entire digital currency space. The service Coinbase Commerce is already supported worldwide. It's partnered with Shopify right off the bat, which has over 500,000 different merchants. Coinbase is one of my favorite startups in the crypto asset realm. They were valued in a funding round last year at about $1.6 billion when they raised $100 million. Recode reports that they did about over $1 billion in revenue last year. My personal guess is that Coinbase is now worth well over $2 billion. I would even say the company is worth $5 to $10 billion by my guess. They're a leader in the cryptocurrency space. I think they're only going to get more and more relevant. We put out a Moonshot Monday a long time ago about PayPal buying Coinbase to get a foothold in this, Bitcoin and Ethereum world. I still think that makes a ton of sense. Next piece of news this week, Project Starlink, SpaceX's project to launch 12,000 satellites in the air and provide internet access everywhere on the globe, is launching 2 test satellites tomorrow, February 17th. And these are going to be connected to 7 different ground stations, all of which are owned by SpaceX, except for one, which is going to be at Tesla's Fremont factory in California. Now, this is fueling speculation that many people have thought for a while that Project Starlink's potential first customer outside of SpaceX would be Tesla, because all of Tesla's cars are already connected to wireless networks, and this would make it a lot easier for Tesla to have access to internet everywhere, and they could be an initial partner. The article that I read from Electric expects that Project Starlink is going to be commercially available in the very late, 2019 or maybe early 2020s. So really stoked to see that. Project Starlink, as I made a Moonshot Monday about, is actually expected to generate more revenue for SpaceX than their core launch business by the time it ramps up to full scale. So this has huge potential and is going to be a huge stepping stone of SpaceX actually getting us to Mars. So wishing them all the best with this initial trial launch tomorrow. Next piece of news, Twitch, which is a massive player in the esports community, lets you watch different gamers playing games and doing commentary, now has more viewership than CNN or NBC. This article from Business Insider claims that in January 2018, Twitch was averaging about 1 million people watching or live streaming at any given moment. To put things in context, Fox News and ESPN, which are some of the world's largest cable networks, average about 1.5 million viewers. MSNBC is about 885,000, CNN was about 783,000, and Twitch is at 1 million. So Twitch is now rivaling the world's largest cable networks in terms of audience. I think this is a pretty big moment for esports. I am incredibly bullish on this category. Twitch was bought by Amazon in 2014 for $1 billion. I actually think this could have been a better acquisition than the acquisition of Whole Foods. I want to make a lot more content on Twitch because I think they're a fascinating, company on their own, and as a piece of Amazon, even more interesting. So if you are a Twitch user, or you know about Twitch, or you play on Twitch, or you watch on Twitch, or you have a Twitch account, please shoot me an email, galileorussell@gmail.com. I want to talk to Hyperchangers about Twitch to learn more about the service because I don't use it myself and I want to get in the know. So hit me up. Next piece of news this week, Snapchat is doubling down on influencers by giving them analytics. They're going to allow them to have this fancy dashboard to see views, to see engagement, and just get a ton more in-depth data about who's viewing their snaps and for how long. This is going to be a really important stepping stone for Snap, allowing influencers and content creators to actually monetize their content, which is on the plate for 2018. So I think they're getting closer and closer to becoming a YouTube competitor and eventually evolving into the YouTube of mobile. Also, the app refresh that Snapchat did, which which has seen a massive backlash on Twitter, and of course everybody complains about everything on Twitter, but I'm actually really bullish on the app refresh, and Evan Spiegel, the CEO of Snapchat, recently came out at the Goldman Sachs Technology Conference and said that the Snap refresh is here to stay. He loves it after using it for a couple months. I couldn't agree more. I think, the separation of your friends and then the more influencer discover content is really fascinating. It's made me more engaged with the app. So, in short, Snap, after a blowout Q4 earnings report, is hanging in there, and these new features are continued steps in the right direction. Good luck, Snapchat. You're gonna need it. Next piece of news, Apple Homepod, which was delayed, finally launched, is basically a version of the Alexa speaker that's not as smart and costs about 3 times as more, but apparently has better sound quality, is now leaving marks on wood tables if you set it down for just a week or two. I mean, this is a pretty bad look for Apple. They already delayed the product. It has way less functionality than all the other competing smart speakers out there, and now it's actually ruining people's furniture if you set it down. This is a totally botched release, an embarrassment for Apple. I mean, go read the tweets on this. This is hilarious. Next piece of news this week, Renault, the French automaker who has actually seen a ton of success in electric vehicles, is launching an all-EV store called the Renault Electric Vehicle Experience Center. It is opening today in Sweden. It will have an electric car configurator just like the Tesla store. I mean, this is pretty much an exact replica of Tesla's direct-to-the-consumer retail strategy, and I can't blame them. I've been saying that every other car company should go all in and replicate Tesla for years. No one has done it, but it looks like Renault is starting to. Renault has a lineup of about 3 electric cars that are going to be sold in the store: the Zoe, the Twinsy, and the Kangaroo. So we'll see how this initial launch goes, but I wouldn't be surprised to see them ramp this up and open a ton more stores if it's successful in the near term. In the Hyperchange universe, the flamethrower giveaway is happening. I'm putting out the video tomorrow about who won the flamethrower. Check out the channel tomorrow because the winner will be announced. One of you guys is getting a free flamethrower. The runner-up is getting a free Boring Company hat. Epic. I'm stoked to give that away. Also, the Hyperchange book is on Amazon. I've just gotten so much awesome feedback on the book. So if you like the book, please give a review on Amazon. It's already gotten like 4.5 stars or more. I'm so stoked about that. But leave me your feedback, shoot me an email. I want to know your thoughts on the book. In terms of videos, I only put out 2 videos since the last TLDR. Had a little bit of a family emergency, so I actually had to run out of town, and life's been crazy. But anyway, back at it, and I put out a video about the market crashing, why I'm not freaking out about it, how we've been in a bull market for like 9 or 10 years now. This is just normal. The market's not going to go up in a straight line forever. It really goes like this. I personally think there could be a pretty big pullback on the horizon. Just cyclically drawdowns or bear markets happen about once every 7 years, and as I said, we're about in year 8 or 9 or even 10 of a bull market run here since the low hit in March 2009. You've got to be prepared for the market to go down, and you actually have to welcome those opportunities because it means your favorite companies are going on sale. Also put out a video about Tesla Energy, and thank you to the Hyperchangers calling me out. I messed up saying the Powerwall was for commercial and the Power Pack was for residential when that's actually a flip. My bad. Anyway, you probably know what I meant, but the gist of that video is that Tesla Energy is a massive opportunity, multi-$100 billion market they are attacking to transition the grid off of fossil fuels. This business is growing like crazy. I think it's going to be a huge piece of Tesla's valuation in the long term, and I just think the planet needs this so bad. So I'm so excited to see a company like Tesla, who has access to a ton of capital, who is leading in groundbreaking technology, put its foot on the gas and help make the world more sustainable by installing batteries and solar panels across the globe. I just think this is incredible news. It's a totally uncovered piece of Tesla's business model that does not get enough press. So I did a deep dive into that. You can check out that video for more. Lastly, I want to give a big shout out to everyone who supports Hyperchange on Patreon. That's how I fund everything we do. Thanks to the Patreon people, I'm investing in more equipment. Hyperchange has a ton of exciting stuff in the works. So if you like Hyperchange and you are so inclined, support us on Patreon. It means everything. We're a startup, scrappy, independent. So thank you guys so much, all you Patreon supporters. Really appreciate it. Also, if you're not subscribed to the channel already, I don't know what you're doing. Quit sleeping. Epic content on the way. Yeah, subscribe. Why not? I mean, it's Hyperchange. Anyway, this is TLDR, your weekly recap for good news in the tech and finance space. If you have any news articles that I should cover for next week or any ideas or comments or questions, leave it below. I'll see you guys next time. Have an epic weekend. Peace.